On Monday, financial media platform Ticker Take announced a new partnership with the NYSE that aims to showcase stories from our iconic trading floor. In a statement, Joe Benaroche, NYSE's head of content, media partnerships, and distribution, said, quote, "We're a storytelling powerhouse, and no other exchange offers a media platform with this scale, credibility, and creative capability," end quote. Now, Ticker Take co-founder John Ehrlichman added, quote, "Partnering with the NYSE is a dream come true. I'm excited to bring the energy and authenticity of this icon of Wall Street directly to our audience," end quote. Ehrlichman and his wife and Ticker Take co-founder Caroline Leslie sat down with our Ashley Mastronardi to talk more about what Ticker Take is offering. Let's take a look.
Spent years on regular television, and we saw that there was kind of a hole in the market where everybody was talking inside baseball, and we wanted to make it informative, fun, digestible for all the ages, and also just newcomers to Canada, the US, people that just want to start investing and they don't know what a PE ratio is. So that was how Ticker Take was born. John left legacy television and we started a YouTube channel. We also do TikTok, Instagram, and a newsletter, a Substack newsletter.
Absolutely.
And here we are.
It's been a lot of fun. It's great because there's never been more interest in the markets than there is today. And I think in part because technology is making all of this more accessible. You mentioned, AI, like everybody knows that not only is the story of Apple as a company, but there's the stock story as well, because people learn about this on their phones. So it's a great place to talk more with people about the investing story, the landscape, and it's been pretty exciting for us.
And even Gen Z is getting into investing. What has your TikTok engagement been like with younger consumers?
Well, so we started using TikTok back during the pandemic. I was still working in traditional television, broadcasting from home because we couldn't be in the studio. And that was when I first played around with TikTok. I asked Caroline, what do people do on TikTok? And she said, well, they do a lot of dancing and pointing, John. So I literally just started to try to take some of the information that, I would use in my reporting and find newer ways of telling stories. And there was definitely a way to connect there. And it is true that on TikTok, there is a new generation of investors, on average, younger investors. We do tend to get an audience that is younger. But I think everyone is on social media and everyone is curious about investing. And so you get great questions there from people. They keep you honest on things they want to know about or what you're talking about. And it's exciting.
And our daughter is 15, and she was one of the big people that said, get on TikTok, start dancing, do your pointing. And so I just wanted to give her a shout out because she is in that generation.
That's right.
And she has started investing. So they are interested in what we're doing. My dad actually gave them a little bit of money and said, start investing early, play around. So he wrote an article about that. Do your stock market homework.
When it comes to money issues, they matter to everybody. And these days, especially, and this is true with the younger generation as well, affordability. Am I going to be able to buy a home? And yet, when you're going through school, you don't always get the tools and the tips you need to make the smartest money decisions. Why is that? So, for us, financial literacy and advocating for that, and helping people to understand the markets is so important. Do we want to talk about, all the big trends that are out there that everybody's interested in as an investor? Absolutely. But do we want to start at the beginning as well? Yes, because unfortunately, a lot of people aren't always given the opportunity to learn those fundamentals, which, as we know, the success stories that emerge here at the New York Stock Exchange, these are important. These are important for people being successful, being financially independent. So that's a real passion point for us.
And if someone who is 15 or maybe even someone older who hasn't had that financial literacy support, what is a good way for them, besides watching Ticker Take, to learn about investing and get involved in the markets?
You're starting to see a little bit more in school. But there's so many online resources that people can tap into, and just to start asking questions. And, maybe there's a way to have more of a family discussion. I'm glad Caroline brought up the point of her dad saying to his grandkids, I want you guys to at least get into the mix here. Learn what it's like to invest, because I didn't have that opportunity myself. And actually, on a similar note, these days, as you know, like there's so many different ways to just test out the markets, paper trading contests, right? Where you don't actually have to do real investing, but you can be in a very real way committed to trying out investing. So many different platforms are offering that. So with a click of a button, you can get started pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, the paper trading thing. So you can just play around and see how it's going to go for you. Also, just bringing it into the school, the education programs, I think should be a bigger part of what's happening. And they actually just introduced in Canada a high school credit for financial literacy. So I think that's amazing. It's a great start.
Our thanks again to Ticker Tape co-founders John Ehrlichman and Caroline Leslie.